Hi, it's Xavier down the bottom of the garden on a windy but fairly sunny day. My eyes hurt. I've been doing a load of editing. I can't believe how much material I've got to put out there. I actually said a few weeks ago that I was going to do less with the amount of work going on. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Right, this is one of about 5 or 6 New Zealand type plants, shrubs, bushes, which I got from Stronsay while I was on my retreat. I think I mentioned before. I think they're Olearia Traversii. I think, you saw me look back, I have it written down on a piece of paper. Yeah, Olearia Traversii, which is from New Zealand originally. And the reason why I took them is because one of the brothers up there, Brother Louis, decided to do a bit of branch cutting, and he insisted that in France these things will just take root no matter how thick the branches were. And sure enough, he cut them, and I've got some, but this is one of them. Well, that's a reasonable thickness, and he literally cuts the branch and shoves it straight into the soil. He had about 50 up there, and I brought some back, and they've been sitting in my collection for a bit of time now because I've been wondering what to really do with them. They're rooting nicely, so it's time to do something different. I have no idea. There's nothing online. I haven't seen an Olearia bonsai, and I'm sure someone's immediately going to say, "Oh, but." Anyway, so let's have a look. So we'll give it a spin. And there's clearly a very pressing need to do something about that. So it's whether we look at that. We've got nice branches out on this, 2 nice ones here, and a 3rd one up here, which are promising. Or the whole lot goes, actually. I'll take the whole lot off. But the first thing, I'm definitely taking the middle one off. So I'm going to do that now. And there she goes. Okay, I suppose I could have tried to put that in a pot because it would have rooted, but I'm not that interested in that. Now, I know I'm going to do more with that stuff, but here we've got 2 from the same point, which may be an issue if I'm going to be using this one up here. But if I'm not going to use this one, then that just becomes an ugly stump. Let's just do something with that. 5 degrees. There we go. Okay, a little bit of putty. Usual. Okay. Yeah. So. As I say, I know absolutely nothing about this this genus of plant. Genus. I think it's a genus. So nice textured. Right. I haven't actually looked down there to see what the root, whether there's any sort of root flare or anything yet. So, at risk of being a little bit naive about it, I could pretend. Oh, right. There's a couple of roots here and here. Okay, we've got quite a good spread actually there, if you can see there. 1, 2, 3 there. There's another one here and here. There's also a bit of a bulge there, so I don't really want that as a front. The bulge is still visible. I've got an idea. Right. I'm in for quick decision making. I don't like how straight that is. So what we're going to do initially, I don't like that, so what we're going to do initially is cut it off. I may well do a little bit of carving on that at some point. Just for now, let's get rid of that. Can't be bothered. Right, so let's look at that. That's flares there. So I'm thinking we've got two branches that are going to go off there, and then this one, which may or may not Again, we've got another straight. Do I do the obvious again? I think I will. Okay, let's see how these develop off. Alright. This is turning out to be a little bit quicker than I thought it would be for this particular one, because I had no idea what I was going to do. What I am going to do is a little bit of wiring on it. Let's get rid of some of these lower little buds coming there, so I can actually pick one from there. I want somewhere where there's two. But if I get one from there and here, that means I'm definitely cutting up here. Little green bud's going to come there by the look of it. I don't know. I don't know how these react to wiring. Right. If we look at this one, got this shoot here and that shoot. That's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty brittle actually. I'm not going to be able to get much movement in that, I don't think. So, is the obvious? I think the obvious thing is to actually bring it right back here. But what if it's sort of vine in nature inside? Let's cut one up. Central core. Yeah, not sure. Actually, I might be able to wire it that way. So, okay. So let's have a think. So. Okay. I'm going to wire these two together. Wire those two together really makes sense, doesn't it? Be very, very careful how I do this. It's not an ideal because they're really not off. I should have wired to these two because they each move to each other's movement, or I'd gone around another one, so it's not ideal. So they're wired. I set them aside the front. It's either going to be I just wanted to bring them a little bit closer together. Yeah, not knowing how this is going to respond to the stresses of wiring. So I'm looking at potentially that sort of position. I'm also considering something that way and having a feature there. Such a curve, it looks terrible. Okay. A little bit of movement in there. What I was trying to do with this is, can I rotate and okay. Okay, so marking the front. Not the best things, but it's the first time I've tried to use this stuff. Looking at this, obviously just a little bit of movement. We've got a shoot coming out here, and there's two shoots from here. And I'm just interested to see whether we get back budding on them or not, or whether I've just munched it too much. A little bit of movement in these, and then obviously we're going to have this one growing up. We've got something at the back here, and I imagine most of this is going to get cut off. I'm just using that as the tension I needed to create a little bit of movement here. We'll go for the next one. Okay, this next one, interesting. Lovely set of roots in there, obviously in a windswept or whatever, and looking at what I've got a choice of actually removing all that and actually doing something with this, or incorporating that for now. I don't know. I suppose again the key is if this stuff back buds, then all I need to do is keep these branches in a healthy, let them keep growing and see if we get stuff back further. I can't honestly say I've seen signs of back budding, so or could remove that. There's a nice little branch there. There. I think the answer with this one is relatively simplistic for now. Up there, I've got a little bud there and that one there. Just see how the tree actually responds when it's put under a little bit of pressure. Sounds great, doesn't it? Let's just put this tree under pressure, shall we? Okay. Yeah, I can potentially, there's some wiring I can do on this. That's always the answer for me, isn't it? Well, I just don't know what to do. Wire. Let me have a think about it. Okay, so I haven't got a clear idea in my head, but I do realise if I'm going to do anything at all, it's going to need wire. So I've just wired up this branch there, and there's two little buds down there. I don't want to actually disturb them. I just wonder whether, from the cut leaf sites, whether that's where I'm going to get some more buds. It makes sense. That would be quite a good location to have, I think, anyway. No idea how quickly these will swell up. To be fair, there hasn't actually been massive amounts of growth with these. I've been on the borderline of thinking these weren't going to make it for the last year or two. They were actually in different pots. It's weird, isn't it? I've actually got two coming from the same position, so this may not actually remain, but okay. I just need to decide what to do. And because there is a lack of flexibility, once I start this process, that's how it's staying. So is the front there? Or is the front there? There's something coming up there. That one here could end up being the leader, which means if I can bring this branch down and across, can I do it there? Obviously the leaves aren't going to be that happy with it. So there could be a front in there. Although again, that can work. I think I'll just get a little bit more out of that. Okay, that's all I'm going for there. I can see something in there, I can see something, definitely. Okay, I could, right, no, that's going to do it. Right, sometimes it's just about getting some initial movement. I'm looking there, looking somewhere in there. Let's see how this reacts to this work, to be honest. So we'll spin. Again, example, I had no idea which way I was going with it, so this is number 2. I've still got these 4 left to do. For the sake of a different species, you see me do 2. I'll muck about with these for a little bit, and you may well see them next year if they make it through. Some interesting shapes here. Again, this one's quite interesting. This one I may actually just remove that back branch. In fact, that was an obvious choice straight away. So we've got an interesting little thing there. There you go. In fact, that's that one done. So I can show you. So that's 3 we've done. Okay. Can't see what you can see on the camera. Yeah. So I'm going to do those other 3 there. They're a little bit more. It's interesting, but I might follow a Tony approach on some of these. In fact, this one, that's definitely a Tony approach. Yeah, so it'll be up there. Anyway, from my New Zealand Olearia Traversii, I'll say farewell. Cheers. And do you know, I haven't even got near my apples yet. Haven't touched them this year. This videoing is doing me in. Anyway, hope you like it. Cheers. Yeah, so there's the Olearia. Lots and lots of healthy budding, and they've responded really, really well to that pruning. So it'll be interesting to see how they all. I was looking to see whether or not they would do buds close in, and it's clear from this one that that's exactly, you've got buds really close in. So I should be able to get that that nice and tight and compact. There's another 30 oaks in there, 4 or 5 year old oaks. Huh. Beat that for a forest, Tony. Nice pot as well.